Hi, I'm Kathy. One of the favorite desserts in our family has always been bread pudding, and I used the recipe that was my great grandmother's. No one had written it down until maybe about 1970s. So here is my grandmother's recipe for bread pudding. Hi again, and welcome to Kathy's Happy Home. Let me show you what you're going to need to make this bread pudding. Sugar, milk, 2 eggs, vanilla, and some stale bread. Begin by breaking 2 eggs into a casserole dish. I'm using a 9x9 pan because I'm only going to make a small portion. And then beat those eggs up. Make sure they're well mixed. Next, you're going to add the sugar. Our family recipe calls for 1 cup, but I was using a much larger dish than this. And Joe and I found that the sugar, it was a little too much. So now I use 2/3 of a cup. Stir it all in. It may seem like an awful lot of sugar, but you put a lot of milk in and it really does dilute it. Make sure all the sugar is mixed in thoroughly. You can use less sugar or more sugar as your taste is. Okay, now that's all mixed in, I'm going to add the vanilla. And that's one, it doesn't give an amount in my recipe, it just says add vanilla. But I found that about 1 teaspoon does the job. Again, if you like vanilla and you want to put more in, that's fine. If you don't like it too much, just don't put as much in, or you can use another flavoring. Almond would be a nice thing to use in here. And now the next thing is to add the milk. And the recipe says, fill dish with milk to within 1 inch of the top of the dish. The thing with this is that back in the 1800s when this was developed, they didn't measure things the way we do. They just did it until it looked right. And so that's how this is. So let's put the milk in. You can see it's quite a bit of milk in here. I think I put in about 1/4 of milk. But now it's so high that I don't want to be too vigorous in the stirring and get it all over. But really do make sure everything is mixed together. And then we put the bread in. Now, how many pieces of bread you put in depends on the size of your dish. For this casserole, I tend to put in at least 4 pieces. And if I have more, I put more in. You should make sure that your bread is not fresh. Sometimes I leave it out overnight to make it get a little more stale. But this is just bread that we want to use up because it's beyond its freshness state. So let's put the bread in. Okay, here we go. And you'll see it will float, but we want to make sure that these are pressed down into the milk mixture and that the milk covers them. Because I'm using potato bread and it's a little different shape than your regular sandwich bread, I'm going to take one slice and break it in half to fit in this little piece over here. And you can see how I did that. Again, press it into the milk. Since I have the bread, I'm going to make a second layer on this. And this time I'll put the whole slices on the other side. And this works out just perfect. I have one slice of bread left. And I will tear it in half to fit on that side. And again, press it into the milk. Make sure that the milk covers it. The last thing I do is sprinkle cinnamon on top. I forgot to get this out earlier. Let's see if I can open it one-handedly. Here we go. We like cinnamon. And so I use quite a bit of it just because we like it. Again, very forgiving recipe. Use what makes you happy. The temperature is set for 375 and it goes in the oven for 45 minutes. 45 minutes later, and here it is. You'll notice it's puffed up a little bit. As it cools, that will sink into the pan. As you can see, it's gone down considerably. And this is what it should look like. I've already dug into it. And here it is. So let's see how it turned out. So good. So creamy. And you can taste the vanilla, you can taste the cinnamon. It's just wonderful, just like when I was a kid. I hope you try it. Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And if you aren't a subscriber, I'd love to have you be one. Just hit the subscribe button. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next week. Bye.